Chevy owners often think their Silverado, Tahoe, Malibu, or Equinox only needs parts when something actually breaks. But honestly, a lot of the time, nothing is broken at all. The computers are just confused. That's where the random warning lights, rough shift, strange idle, or possessed electronics comes from. Shops charge big money to plug in a scanner and basically hit reset. Today we're flipping that around. I'm going to show you 5 real reset methods you can do yourself at home that often fix common Chevy problems for free before anyone starts throwing parts at it. Your next repair might be a 10-minute reset instead of a $1,200 bill. I'm Jerry and I've been working on Chevys for over 30 years. From old small blocks to today's computer-packed models, one thing is constant. They learn, they get confused, and sometimes they just need a fresh start. Let's get your Chevy back to normal the easy way. Let's talk about one of the strangest Chevy problems you can run into. The car just starts acting weird for no clear reason. No big bang, no obvious broken part, just strange behavior. Maybe your Malibu or Equinox suddenly idles rough. Maybe your Silverado feels lazy off the line, or the check engine light pops on after a battery change or a tank of sketchy gas. You plug in a scanner, you see a couple of generic codes, and then the guessing begins. Coils, O2 sensors, air filter, MAF, plugs, and somehow the car still doesn't feel right. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. Modern Chevys are constantly learning. The ECU is always adjusting fuel trims, idle speeds, timing, transmission behavior, all based on whatever conditions it's been dealing with lately. If it spent the last month running bad gas, breathing through a clogged filter, or trying to survive on a weak battery, it literally learns those conditions and builds them into how it runs. Then you fix the original problem, and the computer keeps trying to correct something that isn't there anymore. That's when the car feels lean, rich, hesitant, or just not itself. It's not broken, it's confused. This is why good shops often do something very simple before selling you parts. They reset the brain. Not just the quick, pull the negative cable for 10 seconds trick. A real hard reset means draining the stored memory in the modules. Key off, disconnect both battery cables, hold the 2 cable ends together, not on the battery, for about a minute. That bleeds off the leftover voltage and wipes learned trims and strategies. Then, reconnect everything, snug and clean. After that, don't just fire it up and blast onto the highway. Start the car, let it idle, quietly, for 5 to 10 minutes. No AC, no gas pedal, no revving. Then, take it for an easy drive with a mix of light city driving and steady highway cruising. What you're doing is teaching the ECU new, clean data so it can rebuild fuel trims and idle control from reality instead of from the mess it remembered. What should you expect? If the issue was bad learned behavior, not a failed sensor or vacuum leak, the car usually feels smoother, throttle response comes back, idle, settles down, and sometimes the check engine light simply doesn't return after a couple of normal trips. Will this fix truly broken hardware? No. A cracked hose, dead O2, or failing fuel pump still needs real repair. But before you let anyone start firing expensive parts at your Chevy, do the hard reset. It's the cheapest diagnostic step you can take, and more often than you'd think, it makes a weird running Chevy act brand new again. You know that feeling. You press the gas and your Chevy thinks about it and then suddenly decides, all right, you want it to move. First nothing and then a mini jump forward. It's annoying in traffic, it's embarrassing at lights, and it makes the whole car feel unpredictable. Here's the crazy part, nothing may actually be broken. Modern Chevys don't use that old school cable from your foot to the throttle. It's all electronic now. Your accelerator pedal has sensors. Your throttle body has sensors. The ECU sits in the middle like a referee and learns your driving style over time. It memorizes where closed really is and where wide open really is and how you normally press the pedal. But batteries get weak, throttle bodies get clean, parts get replaced, and sometimes the computer's memory no longer matches reality. And that's when the hesitation and dead spots show up. Real mechanics don't immediately grab parts. They do something simpler, a throttle and pedal relearn. And on most Chevys, you can do it yourself, no scan tool needed. Here's the easy version. Key off, everything is off. Turn the key to on or push the start button without actually starting. Wait a few seconds. Now, slowly press the gas pedal all the way to the floor. Don't stab it, smooth and steady. Hold it down for a second. Then slowly release it all the way back up. Turn the key off and wait 10 to 15 seconds. Now, start the engine and let it idle. Don't touch the gas, just let it sit and think for a couple minutes. On some models, a short, calm drive helps the computer match pedal position with throttle opening under real load. Think easy neighborhood cruise, not drag strip pull. What would you feel if it worked? The pedal wakes up, the hesitation disappears, the weird dead zone at the top of the pedal shrinks. Acceleration starts to feel smooth and predictable again. Will this fix a bad throttle body or a failing pedal sensor? No. If the hardware is dying, it still needs to be replaced. But if your Chevy just feels confused, especially after a battery disconnect, throttle cleaning, or electrical hiccup, this relearn can save you from buying parts you don't need. So before anyone tells you, yeah, you probably need a new throttle body, let the car relearn your foot first. It might just start acting like itself again. Have you ever hopped in your Chevy, dropped it into gear, and it feels like the transmission woke up on the wrong side of the bed? Hard bangs into gear, weird pauses going from park to drive, or those annoying hunting shifts where it can't decide which gear it wants, like it's scrolling a menu. And of course, nothing obvious is broken. Here's what most people don't realize. Your 6-speed, 8-speed, or 10-speed isn't just a dumb box of gears. It's smart. It's constantly watching how you drive, it learns how hard you accelerate, whether you tow, how often you're stuck in traffic, even how worn the fluid has been. Then, it adjusts shift timing and clutch pressure to match that life. That's awesome when it learns good habits. It's terrible when it learns around bad ones. So if you've had old fluid, weak battery, jerky, stop-and-go traffic, or a lot of towing, the transmission might have simply learned rough as normal. Then, you finally service it, fresh fluid, and it still shifts like it's mad at you. That's where the adaptive reset comes in. This is the simple trick a lot of shops quietly do after fluid service or repairs. Wipe the learned shift behavior and make the transmission start fresh. On many Chevys, you can do a basic version at home. Here's the driveway method. Engine off. Turn the key to on or push the start button without starting. Hold the brake firmly. Now, slowly move the shifter through every position. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. Manual modes if you have them. Pause a moment in each spot. Leave it in drive for 20 to 30 seconds. Then, shift back to park and turn the car off. Some models respond even better if you combine this with a full battery disconnect reset like the ECU method, followed by a calm relearn drive. Now here's the important part. How you drive right after matters. For the first 10 to 20 minutes, pretend you're teaching it manners. Smooth throttle, predictable braking, light acceleration. Let it upshift and downshift gently. You're showing it what normal should be. When this works, you'll feel it. The angry bang soften. The slipping or flaring during shift goes away. The gear hunting finally relaxes. Will this fix a transmission with burnt clutches or real internal damage? No, nothing replaces hardware, but it can absolutely save you from throwing thousands at a transmission that just needed its brain reset. So before you panic or someone starts talking about rebuilds, give your Chevy a clean slate and a calm, retrained drive. Sometimes it just needed to forget the bad habits it learned. You know that feeling when your Chevy pulls up to a stoplight and you're just hoping it doesn't stumble or stall? The shaky steering wheel, the little hiccup in the idle, The way the RPMs dip like it's about to give up. Or maybe the fuel economy suddenly tanks and you're thinking, great, something expensive is wrong. A lot of drivers jump straight to tune-ups, coils, injectors, or even fuel pumps. Sometimes that's needed, but very often the real problem is much simpler. Modern Chevys live and die by the mass airflow sensor, the idle strategy the computer has learned, and long-term fuel trims. If any one of those gets confused, the whole car acts weird. Think about what the computer's doing. It's constantly learning how much air comes in, how much fuel to add, and what idle speed keeps things smooth. Then you get a weak battery, clean the throttle body, or the MAF sensor gets a little dirty from oil vapor and dust. Suddenly, the computer is using old numbers with new airflow. That's like balancing your checkbook with last month's bank statement. The math is wrong and the engine pays for it, with rough idle, stalling, or terrible MPG. That's why the smart move is a reset, not a shopping spree. Here's the conversational driveway version. Key off, disconnect the negative battery cable, or do the full battery cable-to-cable discharge reset to really wipe the learned trims. While you're there, pull the mass airflow sensor out of the intake tube. 2 screws on most Chevys. Spray it only with proper MAF cleaner. No scrubbing, no touching the tiny wires inside. Just a good rinse and let it air dry like you're being patient on purpose. Put it back in, make sure the airbox and intake tube are sealed tight, and reconnect the battery. Now start the engine, just let it sit there. No revving, no AC, no radio, nothing. Give it several quiet minutes to relearn base idle. Then flip on the AC and electrical loads and let it stabilize again. After that, take a calm, mixed drive so the computer can relearn fuel trims under real-world conditions instead of the scrambled mess it had before. When this lands, you feel it fast. The idle stops acting jittery, the stalling at stoplights disappears, and the fuel gauge stops dropping like a rock. If the only problem was bad learned data plus a dirty airflow reading, even the check engine light often behaves after a few trips. And if the problem comes right back, that's when you look at real faults like vacuum leaks, weak pumps, or failing sensors. But you earn the right to spend money by doing the free reset first. That's how you stop guessing and start driving again. You know that moment when your Chevy suddenly decides to act spooky? You hop in, hit the key or the button, and nothing. Or it cranks slowly like it's half asleep. Maybe the dash lights up with random warnings, the start-stop quits working, or the little security light flashes like the car's arguing with you. It feels haunted, and your brain jumps straight to the worst. Starter, alternator, modules, big money. But here's the truth most people never hear. On modern Chevys, the battery is not just a battery anymore. Your car is constantly watching it through the battery management system, BMS. It tracks age, charging habits, voltage dips, and how the car is used day to day. That info then controls charging voltage, stop-start operation, and how a bunch of modules behave. So if you swap a battery without telling the car, let it run low for a while, or you've got crusty corroded terminals, the computer's picture of the battery is flat out wrong. That's when you get slow cranking, service messages, disabled features, and sometimes the security system refusing to let the car start at all. Before you spend a dime, do the free fixes. First step, pop the hood. Make sure the battery connections are perfect. I mean, shiny, clean, and tight. Not good enough. Corrosion on Chevys causes more ghost problems than most people realize. After that, do a basic BMS relearn. Key on, engine off, hold the brake, push the accelerator to the floor, and keep it there for about 10 seconds. Let go, turn the key off, wait a bit. Then start the car and let it idle. On many models, that's enough to tell the car, new battery, forget the old habits. Now, if you've got the flashing security light and no start after a low voltage episode, try the immobilizer relearn. Key on, leave it alone until the light stops flashing or times out, around 10 minutes. Key off for 10 seconds. Do that 3 times. On the last cycle, try to start it. You're basically letting the car and the key become friends again after a voltage freakout. When this works, it feels magical. The car goes from possessed to normal. Cranking speed returns, random dash warnings fade after a few drive cycles, and start-stop wakes back up. If it doesn't change, that's your cue for real diagnostics. Parasitic draw, weak alternator, or true key programming issues. But rule number 1 is simple. Always try the free resets before you throw parts. Your Chevy might just be confused, not broken. These 5 resets are the exact tricks Chevy techs use all the time before they start tossing expensive parts at a problem. Use them the same way. Notice the symptoms? Try the free reset. And only buy parts when you're sure something is actually broken. Do that, and your Silverado, Tahoe, Malibu, or Equinox will fix itself way more often than you'd expect, while your wallet stays a lot happier and a lot heavier.